Well, hello, you degenerates, and I'm here to talk to you today about Kameo Elements of Power. Yes, the wonderful Rare game. And if you don't know who Rare is, Nintendo basically built their N64 off of Rare's games until Xbox bought them, and then they cut their game output to like one game a generation. I think the last one they did was Sea of Thieves. Like the game's fun, but it's there. But anyways, you start the game off fighting with your sister. She's the redhead chick right here, trying to get herself some BOC, Big Orc Companionship. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and that's what you were thinking too. Get your mind out of the gutter, you monsters. But anyway, you know that she's evil because she's like got way too low cut of a top. And if you're gonna be a hero in a game and you're a woman, you can't be showing off your boobs like that. That is an evil, sexist thing to do. I don't really know. I'm just making stuff up. Calm down before you hit me in the comments. But one thing you could do in the comments is let me know what you want to see me play. Because right now I'm playing Kameo. But anyways, you kind of get into the main gameplay loop of this game, and you get kind of this weird switch between different character type vibe. Right now, I'm a plant that's Muhammad Ali. I'm moving like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Well, more like a rose because of the thorns, I guess. I mean, if you really want to take that joke, I don't. I want to like cut my own head off with a guillotine right now. That stuff made me nauseous. But anyway, you turn into a roly-poly because Sonic is copyrighted by Sega, so they had to do something other than just make a Sonic section. I mean, this game probably would have been a little bit cooler if I like switched between like Donkey Kong, Mario, Sonic. But I mean, once you get a switch through, it's pretty cool. Especially the main chick. I mean, we're going to get into how juicy her ass cheeks are, but for right now, I just kind of want to talk about all these cool little elemental beings. They're really like cutesy, but also a little dark, because this studio is known mostly for their cutesy stuff, and they also did like GoldenEye, which everyone knows I'm not the biggest fan of. But you look at this chick right here. This is Conker's Bad Fur Day, bro. If you haven't played Conker's Bad Fur Day, it's a platformer in the same art style as this, and a lot of the platformers of the time, but super crude. And you're not gonna tell me that this fairy elf is not fuckable. And it's not like a fairy like Tinkerbell, because I don't know how I would like. I'm not saying I want to have sex with Tinkerbell. I know for a fact it wouldn't be possible, because like that'd be trying to have sex with a gnat. All you're gonna do is smush it under your tip. So, but this chick, you're seeing her stand up next to orcs right now. She's just a petite woman. I could have sex with that. Now, I'm not going to, because I'm married and I have morals, but at the same time, I mean, Rule 34, this bitch, right? Am I weird for saying that? I mean, I'm not like, it's not like I'm weird and I'm like, hey, look at that, look at the plant elemental, how I want to like suck on its leaves. Now that would be weird. Or when it's in like the gorilla form, I'm like, ooh, let me pick the fleas out of that fur. No, that's weird. That's some weird bestiality. Plantiality? I don't know. I don't know anybody that wants to have sex with plants other than those chicks who use cucumbers for very naughty things. Don't use cucumbers. Just go buy something that's latex. I know you guys have like an arsenal of options out there where it's like some of them have like machine gun bouncers that like pound your clit into oblivion. But just don't have sex with plants, okay? I mean, or animals. Don't be a degenerate. But anyways, one of the first cool fights you get is against this giant orc, and it's really fun because you kind of switch between the three beings that you have, these three elementals, and you like go to the plant, you hit him in the jugular, and then you like throw the shit out of him with spikes, bro. I mean, you just really give him a deep throating, hardcore, spike his throat down. He's gagging, so you're doing a good job. I mean, you're on the top of the orange and black app, bro. You were on top of the hub with this type of material. Did you see me kill him? But anyway, old Kameo sees her family, and she's like, oh man, this is crazy. I need to save him. Look at her cheekbones, bro. You can't tell me that Rare didn't know what they were doing, giving her cheekbones like Angelina Jolie and an hourglass figure. You know they wanted me to have sex with her. That is, they're the degenerates, not me. They're the ones who drew her. They had bad intentions, but anyway, that BOC is hanging right over your shoulder, man. And you're like, oh, dang, I'm in a bad situation. And then he hits a woman. Now, I would never hit a woman. That is wrong. Unless, like, the lady's coming at me with, like, a knife, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna kill me. But yeah, did you see this chick's tots? Her titties? They are massive. Her sister got the boobs, but she got the ass. And also, she has the love of her family, because obviously, Kameo's not trying to murder her family like the sister is. And it's time for me to take a stand up where no others will stand up. And I'm gonna say it. Trying to kill your family is wrong. Whoa, this is some spicy content right here. Oh, wasn't prepared for that, now were ya? But anyways, yeah, you get knocked out by the orc, and you wake up because your mama saved you. She was like, no, you're the good child. The other one sucks. The other one's like Macaulay Culkin in that movie with Elijah Wood. You're the good one. And you meet this, like, lizard wizard. Lizard wizard? Wizard lizard. Ah, that rhymes. I see what you're doing there, Rare. One rare achievement right there. Ooh, bad jokes, bad puns. You guys are probably going to unsub from me from that. But you shouldn't. You should sub for bad content like this that's also incredibly engaging. But anyways, this wizard's all telling you shit. Basically, the land's in hell. So she sends you to go talk to this guy who can't even get his dread work together. And he, like, tells you how to fly, which I already knew because I like, looked up her skirt. Because, like, I'm not a degenerate. I played this game because I'm a feminist, goddammit. Because I wanted to play a game with a woman's lead. Where a woman led. And that's why I played this. But he was, like, massive, and he had, like, really goofy hair. Like, if your hair is patchy like that on top, you need to get a haircut. But then he wants me to kick him in the face, and I know that he's into some weird feet stuff because he wants me to put my feet in his face. This is a kinky, gross old man. I don't know what this game was trying to tell me, but I know one of these developers wanted a chick. Like, he was watching some, like, hot tub streams, and he was like, please stomp on my face. Please just stomp on my freaking face. Oh, I want it. And another reason right here why I think that they're degenerates who made this game, and I'm a degenerate for liking it, is look, after she drinks this health thing, she's like, oh, yes! Like, she just air humps the sky, bro. Anyway, you find out you got another old dude degenerate just chilling in your lap. You have this book that talks to you, right? It's all like sorts of mystical or something. I don't know. He's like some sort of wizard. And he sends you back to go talk to the lizard wizard. And the book's like yapping, and she starts yapping at you. And you're like, I know, I gotta save the realm. My sister's a bitch, whatever. I know, I'm a strong, independent woman. My sister's an evil, independent woman. And one of us independent women's got to win. And then this lizard just pulls its eye out. That's disgusting. And tells you, hey, there's a bunch of elemental beings you can go save from these ghost trolls. And I'm like, ghost trolls? That sounds kind of cool. Or dark trolls, or whatever they're supposed to be called. And if there's one thing I'm not cool with, it's kidnapping and slavery. And I feel like both of these are involved. Because the trolls are like putting them inside of them and using their power. So that's kind of slavery. And again, hot take. I'm against slavery. Wow, dude. Oh man, I'm so cool. Look at me being a good person all the time. But you gotta destroy one of these trolls, and it turns into a little elemental being, and you get your plant guy back. And I was like, okay, I kind of see what this game is going for. Kind of a cool little platforming, fighting, like exploration game where I'm playing as a hot elf chick. I mean, I'm there. I'm for it. I was having a great time, and every time I got like one of these elementals, I was feeling pretty good about it for like a while, man. I really was vibing with this. And like some of these early areas, like look at these cheekbones. I made it pause right there for a second because I forgot that I wanted to show you off some cheekbones. They put Angelina Jolie cheekbones on her 100%, and like it's got vibes of Conker's Bad Fur Day. There's a lot of cool stuff. This is like Rare doing a lot of cool Rare stuff in this game, and I'm for it. And there's so many aspects here where when I was playing this, I was like, this shit's a vibe, bro. I'm vibing with it. This is cool. And even some of this stuff that, like, some of these goofy characters, I was down for all of them. It had, like, these little hub worlds. It was almost open world, but not really open world. And every time you were doing stuff, there was all sorts of, like, cool battles going on. And oh, well, there's an island in the sky where the sister's at, and we got these idols putting their lasers on them and keeping it in the air, and I don't know really what was going on, but it looked like lasers keeping a castle in the air. And I mean, I got cool night guys, and this is where I really found out that if I was in this world, I could have sex with Kameo. Because as you can see, this human knight here isn't much bigger than her. I mean, they're going to be both riding horses here in a second, and you can totally see that even though there's a war going on, he's trying to raise her up. They're about the same size. She's like, no, I'm saving myself for King Jiffy. And I'm like, listen, I'm taking. Maybe you should get with the night guy. And the night guy's like, yeah, let me give it some of that ussy, some of that elf pussy. Let me get some of it. Or she might be a fairy. I don't know. It doesn't really go over these things, but she has fairy wings. Her sister just kind of floats. I don't understand how they're related, but I'm cool with it. And when it pans out, and this is the one time that I was like, okay, this came out on the Xbox 360, because the N64 would have like burst into flames having this much enemies on screen. Now I know what you're saying. This is a cinematic, King Jiffy. They had cinematics back in the day, and I'm like, listen, dude, I didn't fucking ask for your opinion, and you left it in the comments anyway. I appreciate it for the algorithm, but now I'm running through them like a fucking badass, and the N64 would not have been able to let me run through this many goddamn orcs. You think that I would have been able to run through this many orcs on the N64 with one joystick? You're out of your goddamn mind. This is a two joystick job. Another funny thing about this whole thing with the war and stuff going on is you have to like go to this war-torn area and then go to these different hub worlds, right? And then you do your little battling and your little like exploration, and each little section kind of hinges on whatever last elemental that you just freed. So one of the first ones, everything has to do with this jumpy punchy plant guy, the one that looks like he should be one of your mains in Plants vs Zombies. That's your main guy, and don't get me wrong, it's cool because like some of this stuff's really neat. I mean, when I'm fighting the orcs in this early part, it did try to spread the love out a little bit, where you did want to switch between your multiple ones, because right here I got this rock guy and I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna like chuck rocks into his face because I'm a freaking savage. But one thing you will start to notice in this game, once you hit a certain point, you stop getting the variety that you got in this area. And I took this area for granted because I was loving it, I was vibing with it, I was like, cool. And right as I got to this first boss fight, I started to see the cracks in this game. And now what are you saying? Oh, well, the boss fight was too tough for you, King Jiffy? It wasn't that. It wasn't that it was too hard. It was that the goddamn aiming is non-freaking existent, and I'm just chucking shit the wrong way. And then I'm just getting screwed over because the game doesn't know how to freaking aim. The game's like all sorts of nimbly-bimbly fucked. All nimbly-bimbly fucked. Like, right away, this boss fight's like, okay, I want you to dodge spikes. Okay, I'm gonna throw a bunch of orcs at you. I'm like, I can handle all that. That's no big deal. And then it's like, oh, I also want you to flip these cups close enough to the tree so that they hit the tree, but you really can't punch them hard enough to get them at one go. Sometimes it's gonna take you like 4 or 5 goes, and by the time you get them close enough, the tree's gonna shoot spikes and knock them all the way back. So your whole play has to be knock them kind of close, and then like get him to miss the cup, and then hit him. Then he'll get mad, drop orcs, and then he'll laugh eventually, and you throw a rock in his mouth. And the game doesn't tell you that. You have to like refer to the book in the pause menu to kind of figure that out. I mean, yeah, I probably could have figured it out if I would have like struggled long enough, but I hit pause because I was getting irritated and like needed to take a breath because I kept like hitting these cups into him and no damage was taken. So I'm like, oh, so I'm doing something wrong, and I was getting a little irritated, and I hit pause, and the book's like, well, you know, his intestines can't handle rocks. I'm like, nobody's intestines can handle rocks. What are you, stupid? And then it dawned on me that I was stupid and I needed to like shoot rocks into his stomach. And like the aiming only works sometimes, and it really takes a lot of trial and error to figure out this aiming shit in this game, because you might think that you're aimed right at it, but then an enemy can aggro you, and you'll be like totally cocked sideways, you know, like you're trying to like put it in, and you're like hitting the butthole because of how crooked you are, you know what I mean? And eventually, when you do get some of these cool elementals, like this fire-breathing dragon one, the game starts to ramp up to where you're getting a lot more elementals a lot quicker, and that's cool. And I like it because it does give you more options and more variety in gameplay, and you get to do a lot of cool shit. Like right here, I'm switching from the dragon into the ball guy, and the ball guy, I forgot that right there I needed to like pause. You can like stop the ball in the air and then like shoot it across the divide. There's a lot of hidden mechanics in this game. The game just expects you to know, and it kind of explains it at the beginning of the game, but you really don't think about it because it doesn't like require you to use it or anything. So a lot of this game is like trial and error, and like one of the things that with even this fire breathing dragon guy, when you shoot up his power flame, you might think it's aimed at the thing you want it to fucking aim at, but then the fire will just like go a different direction, and that's where a lot of the aiming in this game kind of like screws you. And a lot of this game, like I said, runs on the physics and the aiming of these certain powers. So I'm constantly at odds with the control, or with the gameplay itself, which sucks, dude, because there's so much in this game that I'm just freaking vibing with, man. And it's so much about the platforming that I do enjoy, that when it does kind of mess up and kind of feel the jank really get into my zone. I just want to here's how to explain the awkwardness of this, right? Okay, so imagine this. You're like sleeping with this hot MILF, right? You guys know that it's never gonna get very far because she's married, and you're like, I don't want to like be a homewrecker, but I'm gonna sleep with her anyways. This fling lasts for a couple months, right? Nothing big. It was just a small blimp in your life. Well, a few years go by, and you meet a girl your age, and you start really vibing. And then all of a sudden, you meet her parents, and the mom's the one you used to sleep with. That's how I feel about some of the things in this game. Some of the certain controls, and some like with the aiming, and especially when I'm using this stupid squid fucker. This stupid squid piece of shit was the worst. All the other controls in this game, non-inverted, right? Not inverted. Except for when you're swimming in the water. So this whole water level almost made me quit the game. It is so goddamn uncontrollable. And not only are you running the inverted controls while in the water, his main attack is shooting goddamn torpedoes. So, like, I couldn't even enjoy myself when I saw the sexy, like, boob chick here because the family member that's getting taken is fat. That was a good place for a fat joke because the whole area is like a water level, so the fact that you're going after a land whale, kind of humorous. Oh, no, that's actually an offensive joke. But right here's kind of my problem with the aiming. So, you'll like move in to go do something, right? And then it'll go too far or too close. And then the whole premise of this whole section is using this stupid swimming guy. And nothing works the way it's supposed to. Like, and it sucks because there is some really cool, like, scenes in here. There's some cool enemy designs, and I really wanted to mess with it. But when all the cracks of the game are, like, on full display, and I'm not even halfway through the game yet. I haven't even seen the second of the 4 bosses yet, and I'm already starting to see these glaring issues when it comes to some of the areas in this game. Especially when it comes to the aiming, and when you get to the end of this section, it's like a priority that aiming's big. And I mean, like, I don't mind when a rock hits me off the ledge like that. That is cool. I don't mind that. That is something I can overcome because that's not like a game issue. That's a I'm not paying attention issue. And it sucks because, like, when you're using the water guy just walking around, he's kind of fun. And I can deal with the aiming in this situation. I can overcome this. This is something that I can adapt to. But when you switch a game that's not inverted controls to inverted controls on a willy-nilly fuck spree, no! Go pound sand. It's garbage. That's stupid. I mean, I want to have moments like this where I'm like fighting big fire monsters and chasing around and being a little scared they're going to blow me up, only to like play like a mock firefighter, like, oh, you need to cool down, Hoss. Oh, look at me get you. I'm cooling you down. An old golden shower for you today. You know what I mean? This is fun. This is cool. This is vibes. I enjoy these parts of this game. But the biggest problem was the boss fight of this section. The second boss fight of the game hinges around being the stupid water guy. And the damage output this squid does is way more than it should be because it has like electric powers. But you can't touch the ground because all the ground's wet. Because somebody couldn't keep it in their pants, so they sopped up everything. And then you have to shoot these orbs underwater on the stupid squid while using these terrible controls where you can't see anything. And then you got to get out of the water pretty quick because the squid's going to electrocute the water, obviously. And you have to turn into the ball to break these crates if you need health. With the health, the little hearts do like jack shit. That was something that I never really worried about because I was like not really having that much trouble. But when I actually need health in this game, it's not really helpful. That's the truth. And like you have to like get this movement right here that I did, that little roundy boundy movement down. Which, don't get me wrong, I actually liked learning the boss's moves and learning how to avoid him. But having to aim this stupid ball to hit the other ball, and it could be like a half a centimeter off, and I hope the squid doesn't decide to like go to the other side of the arena before the time I power up my ball. And then when I get in the water, am I going to have enough time to shoot the ball at all, to shoot the little orb at all before he emerges? I did this boss fight like 472 times. And that's probably an exaggeration, but might not be. It was so irritating. I watched the death screen so many times. By the time I beat this boss, I had it to the point where the electricity barely ever could touch me. And it was never that I died because of really the electricity. It was I died because of tedium. Because I would get to the point where the squid would go to run away and I would miss. And then I would get in the water. And really, this time I know how to get down. I had it down where I could get down to the orb. And then the orb's moving too fast for me to hit it because the aiming is so slow. And it feels like your controls are like holding your controller in mud or something. I don't know. Maybe it's in like a tub of semen and the semen's hardening while you're trying to control this squid with the controller in your hand that's gotten all this gunk. And when you do beat it, you feel like a champion, you know, but it still doesn't feel great. I mean, I wanted to feel like a champion. I didn't feel like a champion after this. I lied to you right there. I felt tired. I felt annoyed. I felt done. It was one of those fights that wasn't rewarding. It wasn't like a Souls boss where when I finished it I felt like I overaccomplished something. When I finished this I felt like I got lucky because the game didn't fuck me. That was it. I felt like I got lucky that the game didn't screw me in the last second, and that when I missed there because the squid was flying away, the time I beat him, the squid literally got hit every time. I luckily hit him every time, and every time it hit, I felt something in my being be like, oh, thank God I don't have to fly around the map doing the swirly-dirlies where the camera fights me a little bit. It was just luck, you know, because most of the time you don't have enough time to hit more than one ball that direction before he flies away, and it's just constantly irritating, and I didn't feel great about it at all. It really comes down to, like, when I look at a FromSoft boss, and I'm, like, fighting Melania, and I get to the second phase where she takes all of her clothes out and shows me her rotted pussy, and I'm like, whoa, that's disgusting. But I know her moves, and I know how to avoid them, and I've learned the boss fight. This game, I really never felt like I learned anything. I felt like, yeah, at the beginning I learned, but then it was just at the whim of the controls, and I don't like that. And another thing that started to irritate me in this game is every once in a while the idols would get attacked, right? Those beams holding up the sky island. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go do one of these set piece giant battle things, figure out whatever gimmicks it's supposed to be, and then move on, right? And like this one right here, right? I'm supposed to kill these orcs while these soldiers turn this cannon. Well, the problem is when I hit the orcs, sometimes the soldier gets hit too. And if the soldier gets hit, they only have like 30 life points, so they die like instantly. Like, how are we even in this battle? If I'm the only person, living woman on this whole realm that can win this battle, why are we even trying? Why don't we just let the orcs win? Now, this section wasn't hard or anything. I mean, it's so easy beating these guys. I mean, watch me just like yeet this guy into another sphere. I literally beat him, use the slow motion ultra rage or whatever it's called, then spike him a billion times because, like I said, they have a bunch of health, and just yeet him into the atmosphere. I felt like Max Payne and goddamn Donkey Kong at the same time. Like, how cool is that? And I mean, this is the moments that I like, but waiting on stupid soldiers to turn a cannon when they don't have enough health to tie their shoes. If they trip while they tie their shoes, oh, well, they died. Well, it looks like the war's lost. And you have to stop whatever you're doing to go do these areas. And like I said, you get cool run through orcs and on a horse moments, and you get giant set pieces. But when you're like 2 steps away from your next objective and you have to go all the way to a different map and all the way across that map just to do one of these idle things, it's bullshit. And I mean, yeah, they don't take forever. Like, this one was super easy. All I did was literally push balls up a ramp. I was really hoping I didn't have to, like, play the ping pong one. I really didn't want to, like, with the aiming in this game, it just felt like everything was evil. And then when I tried it that way, I'm like, oh, it funnels up to the top. Well, isn't that fucking convenient? This is like Steve-O funneling alcohol up his asshole, you know what I mean? And that was nice. That is a vibe. And I get the cool set piece shot. But when the game pulls you away from all the fun that you're having just to do this stuff, it's kind of annoying. And it sucks because there are some really, really good mechanics built into this game. And for me, where the cracks are showing and really irritating me to the point that I just want to stop. And I was so close to getting all the elementals. Maybe one day I'll go through and finish this game. But there was a moment here coming up that really pushed me past the brink of like sanity. I truly got to the point where I got so irritated with the game, especially when I got this guy and it showed me a little bracket for aiming. It's like you couldn't have done that for all of these guys. You couldn't have like given me like a line that it would follow or like some sort of aiming material. You just kind of gave it all willy-nilly until I get the one guy that like grabs things tongues. And like what a weird thing to grab. Like if I were to like grab a plant's tongue, that I don't know, I just feel like that was weird. It's not bad. You just kind of like feel tedious by this point, right? Even though you're getting new elementals, every time you get one, you got to do one of these shadow orc areas where you try to kill one of these guys so that you can pick up a guy to shoot him at the other guy and try not to get picked up by this guy at the exact same time, because if you get grabbed by one of these guys, but then you have to use the shitty aiming to like shoot these guys off of your back, and it's just guys, that's all I keep feeling is guys. I feel like I'm like in a gay gangbang porno whenever I do one of these boss fights, and it's just the same thing over and over again. And I can't not complain about this, because like eventually when I review Halo 5, I'm going to shit on having to fight the Guardian guy, or the Warden, whatever his name is, like 16 times. And that's kind of how I felt in this game, is I do a bunch of these mini-boss runs over and over and over again, and it gets super tedious. And it's like, you couldn't have made one like a Shadow Orc, and yeah, they have their little differences, but at the same time, it's like the same shit over and over again. And this is where I quit the game. See, I was like supposed to use this little roly-poly guy, and controlling him on the ice with the camera being your enemy is so irritating. Like, I've done some weird, irritating platforming stuff throughout my time, right? I have put myself through hell with platformers, and it's fine. But this had so much backtracking. This was a worse backtrack than like every Souls game's run to a boss ever. I hated this. It's like, oh, we'll dodge the spiders, and just so you know, if you miss, they're gonna be back. And I'm like, I don't fucking want them to be back. I'm done with this. And then you turn into old Snowball Uniball, man. He the fucking Lance Armstrong of the snow, and you roll down this little area, and I'm trying to keep the camera on his back. I know it seems annoying with the camera, but I know that as soon as I get on this bridge, it zooms out like 80 miles, and then the bridge kicks you off to the left. It's like, why would you do that? Why would you take something that could have been just a fun, like, slide down the area thing and turn it into this AIDS? It's AIDS. It's absolute 1980s, Fauci telling you can get AIDS from cereal crap. It is the AIDS epidemic boiled into one bridge. I did this. I only have like a little bit of a clip here, but I did this for so long, and I never could get across it. No matter what I tried, there was times I went off the other way trying to overcorrect so many times, because it's like I can't figure out which direction to fight it. It just keeps eating me off of the goddamn bridge. Like, why do I even have to do this? The main person you are has wings that can fly. Why don't I just fly the fuck over there? Why am I doing this? Why am I living through this AIDS? Like, yeah, I'm simping for old like bubble butt beautiful ass fairy elf. But putting myself through this boss fight hell, because I'm just going to end the video right here. This boss fight hell put me through nightmares, and then to do that bridge was about enough for me. But that's all I really got for you guys today. Subscribe to my channel. I love you all. Like, dislike. If you hated this video, leave an angry comment. I'll probably respond. It'll be fun. But until next time, I hope you guys have a really good day, and thank you so much for watching.